Hello, ma'am. Hello. Ma'am, you can hear me?
Yes,
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. Now we can start the session.
Sure.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to day two of our CPD pedagogy sessions. We are thrilled to have you all here today for another round of insightful learning. Today, we have two exciting sessions lined up, starting with the first one right now and the second session at sharp 4:30 p.m. So be sure to stay with us throughout the day to get the full experience. Our focus today is on cultivating growth mindsets in young learners, an essential approach to empowering students to embrace challenges, build resilience, and unlock their full potential in learning and life. To guide us through this journey, we are honored to have once again Dr. Nagmani Krishnamurthy ma'am as our speaker. Dr. Krishnamurthy is an educator with 34 years of experience, began as a chemistry teacher and evolved into a teacher trainer, coach, researcher, and early childhood educator. She recently launched Empower, a comprehensive educational app and a transformational life coach. So, today's first session is entitled The Path to I Can Cultivating Growth Mindsets in Young Learners. Dr. Krishnamurthy will guide us in understanding and integrating growth mindset strategies into teaching practices. Further ado, let's dive into the fascinating topic. Teachers and educators, just a quick reminder, we have got an exciting quiz coming up on December 21st. Right after the finale session wrap up, we will share the quiz link with you after the session ends. And guess what? The winning participants will snag Amazon vouchers worth up to 25,000. So get ready to bring your A game and make it count. Now, let's go through the housekeeping rules. Participants will be muted throughout the entire session. Please ensure you have a pen and paper to note important information. The chat box will only be enabled during the question and answer round and as required by the speaker. To receive your e-certificate, please fill out the feedback form that will be sent to you registered email ID after the session. Dr. Krishnamurthy, ma'am, we are excited to learn from you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Very good evening to one and all present here. And I'm so glad that all of us are gathered here again. And I thank wholeheartedly to all of you to listen to me once again. So today's topic of the day is growth mindset and how we can ensure that we nurture growth mindset in our little ones in the preschool classrooms. And I just love the title, The Path to I Can, because it reminds me of the story of the little blue engine. How many of you are familiar with the little blue engine story? Yes? Can you put it in the chat box, please? No? Are you familiar with Little Blue Engine story? Okay, all right. That gives me an opportunity to share this little story, which goes like this. There will be a lot of children who want to, um, who are looking out for goodies and toys and gifts. And there will be a train which is full of goodies. And this train wants to take all these goodies to the little ones over the hill and to the other side of the hill where there are little children. And this train needs an engine. And the engine has to be having enough strength to go up the hill and then again climb down from the hill and give the goodies to the children on the other side of the hill. So the train keeps asking different engines to help the train to move over the hill and cross the hill to give the goodies to the children. So what happens is whenever the train asks for help from an engine, every engine will have a reason not to help the train, and they'll say, "Oh, I am a I'm a goods train engine. I can't take things like toys, gifts, etc. And I'm a people carrying train. I can't I engine. I cannot carry the toys and gifts for the children." So every engine will have a reason not to help the train. But there will be one little blue shining engine which says that it is ready to help the train to carry the gifts and goodies and sweets to the children on the other side of the hill. Now, when the blue engine starts climbing the hill, it is very difficult for the engine to pull the train to the other side. And when it is going uphill, it keeps repeating, "I think I can. I think I can." So when the train goes, right, it sounds like, "I think I can. I think I can." And this story is a very inspiring story because it makes children to learn that they can do so many things by listening to this story and by watching the little blue engine go up the hill by believing in itself. And today's session is going to be about how we can make children to believe in themselves and believe in their abilities and their talent and skills and proceed to become successful in their lives. As I was discussing yesterday, it is important for us to give very rich experiences to children when they are below 5 years so that they develop this growth mindset and they develop confidence in themselves and they become beautiful, successful, and independent individuals. And that is how we are going to make sure that the children in our classrooms are definitely going to be independent and responsible citizens in the future. So let us see what this growth mindset is all about and how we will be able to nurture this growth mindset. So, can anybody tell me whether you are aware of growth mindset, first of all, and then what word comes to your mind when you think of growth mindset? Can you please share it in the chat? Yes. First of all, you answer my question. Do you know what growth mindset is? Yes or no? Yeah. Learning new things. Okay. Independent. Unity as a team. Not really. Yeah. Open minded. Yeah. Open to learn. Okay. Correct. Abhirami, cognitive development is okay, but you have to add an adjective for that. Yeah, developing, getting interested in studies, not only studies, getting interested in learning anything. Yeah, learning something new, embracing challenges. Yes, yes, accepting challenges, creative. Right, right. So you are aware of certain terminologies under growth mindset. I'm happy about that. But yeah, curiosity, correct. But what we need to think about is how is it different from a fixed mindset? How do we differentiate between growth mindset and fixed mindset? Because it's important for us to understand what we should not be nurturing in young children and what we should nurture in young children. I say this because as teachers, inadvertently, you may be using certain phrases and certain words which which forces the children to develop fixed mindset. And that is the reason we need to understand very clearly what is the difference between growth mindset and fixed mindset. So, if you take a mindset, children or people think that any failure is the end of their life. Like I was telling you yesterday, that examinations are not the end of life. It's just one examination out of the many which you are going to take. And children need not think that failure in an examination is putting a halt to everything in life. It doesn't. And this is a fixed mindset which makes them to believe that everything has come to an end instead of thinking that failure is an opportunity to grow. Now, how can we make children to believe that failure can be an opportunity to grow? It is very, very simple in the case of very young children because they are not perfect individuals. They have not learned everything perfectly. They are still learning, they are growing, and they are developing. And that's the reason they will be making plenty of mistakes. But on the way, they will also rectify these mistakes, and at one point of time, they are going to succeed in learning a particular skill. And this process itself is an opportunity for us to showcase that children who do not think that failure is the end of everything will continue to try again and learn that particular skill. For example, walking on a straight line, right? If you draw a line on the floor and if you make the children to walk along this line, initially, they may be able to walk only a few steps and then they will start falling down because they cannot balance themselves. So, this is not only involving balance, it is also involving coordination and coordination between their feet and their brain. The brain is giving the instruction to the feet to walk along the line, and the feet has to follow these instructions. And that's where the coordination comes into picture. Now, initially, if they are able to walk three steps, and if they just falter at the fourth step, then as a teacher, it is our responsibility and duty to say that you try again and maybe you can take one more step. So instead of three, you take four steps. Instead of four, the next time you take five steps. Even if it is not possible on the same day to provide this opportunity to take more steps for a single child, you can give them opportunities on the next day or in the next class where this particular activity is being conducted. Now, what happens during this process is children understand that you are not giving up on them. You believe in their ability, and remember, the belief a parent or a teacher has on the child matters a lot for children. And that is where we need to be very careful in creating these inner voices in our children. And that is where we have to understand very clearly what we should nurture and what we should not nurture. So let us take a look at the growth mindset and fixed mindset. Failure is an opportunity to grow if a person has the growth mindset, but failure is the limit of the abilities of a person if the person has a fixed mindset. And children who are having a growth mindset will always think that I can learn to do anything I want, and challenges help me to grow. I'm inspired by the success stories of others. I like to try new things. All these are the inner voices which children have if they have the growth mindset. Whereas, on the contrary, If children are having a fixed mindset, they feel that I'm not good at something. I don't like to be challenged. I'm jealous that the other person, my friend, is able to do this. How come she is able to do it? Or how come he is able to do it? And then they also stick to the very old methods and they do not try out anything new. These are the differences between growth mindset and fixed mindset. Now, I was talking to you about the inner voice, right? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by inner voice? Can you put it in the chat box as to what you feel is the inner voice? Yeah. Can you please put it in the chat? Intuition, gut feeling. Oh, no, no. It's not the gut feeling. No, no. It's not intuition. Okay. I will give you an example. Yeah, the voice that guides us from within self-talk. Self-talk is a better word. Yes. Internal dialogue. Yes, that's also correct. Yeah. So what happens? I will tell you what happens. Now we enter a toddler's classroom, and then how many of you, when you enter your preschool classroom, have certain sentences in your mind like this class is full of mischievous children. This particular child is very silent. This particular child is slow in learning. How many of you are having these kind of sentences or something else? I just gave you a few examples. How many of you say yes or no? How many of you are having these kind of sentences when before you enter the classroom? That oh this class is notorious. This class is very mischievous. This class is dull. Yes, all. Yes, Varsha, we all are like that. Yeah, I know. Right? Sometimes. Okay, somebody said sometimes. Rekha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, most of us have this kind of thought that, okay, these children are, this class is like this child is like this, etc., etc. And this is the guideline you are taking to treat that particular child or to treat that particular set of children. And what happens next is when you think that this class is notorious, this class is mischievous, you go with the mindset of dealing with the naughtiness or the mischiefs which the children will get involved in. And you are expecting children to be mischievous. Am I not right? Isn't it? So, what happens? Miraculously and magically, children will be very mischievous. If you think that these children are mischievous, they will be mischievous. Have you ever wondered how this happens? When you think that, oh, today my children are going to be very noisy and they will not cooperate, you enter the classroom and the children will definitely not cooperate. Has this happened to you anytime? Yeah? Has this happened? That you have a thought in your mind about how your class is going to be, and you see that exactly that happens, and you will say to yourself or to your colleagues that, "Hmm, I knew exactly today it will be like this, and that's what happened." Yeah, yes, Rekha, that is inner voice. And this is what happens when we deal with children or adults with a predetermined notion or a fixed mindset or a fixed opinion. And this gets translated into our body language, into our actions, into the words which we use, and it gets moved on to the people with whom we interact. So, with children, when we do not say something, also they understand what we are imagining or what we are thinking about them. Let's say, I think that a particular child is slow in learning, and I have difficulty dealing with this slow learning ability of the child, then the child can understand that I'm having a difficulty. And the child also gets to understand that he or she is slow in learning. Now, indirectly, I am nurturing an inner voice inside the child's mind. So, without even telling or without even articulating in as many words, I am nurturing a thought in the child's mind saying that I am incapable of learning at the speed at which others learn, or at the speed at which my teacher is expecting me to learn. Now, this becomes the inner voice. And then, whenever the child wants to learn something or it is trying to do something, the child gets hindered by this inner voice, which says that no, you cannot do it because you are slow. And I think as adults, also, you would have experienced many times that um, sometimes some people will tell us also. We have quite a few people around us, whether it is in the family or in the work setting. We have quite a few people who will say, I don't think you will be able to do this, and that puts your mind off and you will start thinking that maybe I'm not capable of doing this. And then some of us will get into that mode saying that, yeah, I know I can't do it and I will not take it up. So I will not even try doing that particular task. And this is my inner voice, which is not created by me. Remember, our inner voices are not created by us, but it is created by others. Especially for children, it is the adults, especially the parents and the teachers, who are going to create the inner voice for the children. And we have to be extremely careful in what kind of inner voice we are creating in children. As adults, we know that we can control our inner voice, and that is where our self-care practices will come into picture in changing the inner voice into a growth mindset inner voice. But children are too young and they will not be able to create their own inner voices. And therefore, it is important for us as teachers to nurture positive inner voices. So, what kind of words you need to use as a teacher in order to nurture this strong positive inner voice in children in your classroom? So, here are some of the things. You are so kind, you are so helpful, you can do hard things, your feelings matter to me. Mistakes happen and it's okay. Your smile makes my day. I believe in you. Right? I'm so proud of you. I love you for who you are. I love the way you do a particular task. All these are encouraging words which create a positive inner voice in children. And therefore, you should try avoiding the opposite. Though my slide says fixed mindset, I have shown the positive words and phrases which you have to use because I think you should not be even seeing the words which are negative and which encourage children to build a negative internal voice. That's the reason I have not used any of those here. Now, why is it important for us to cultivate growth mindset in young children? Yesterday, also, I talked about it in a slide that growth mindset will help children to build resilience and they become more determined and persistent with their tasks in life rather than just shying away from trying again when they are failing in a particular task. So, why do you think is the growth mindset important in very young children? Is it not okay for us to allow them to grow as they can and then rectify it after some time? Like maybe when they become teenagers, when they are able to understand and change their inner voices. Can we wait for that long and then change their uh, mindset, or should we start very early in age? Is my question. Is it necessary for us to nurture growth mindset right from the beginning or not? Yes or no? In the chat box, please. Yeah, right? Right. We can't wait. We have to do it right from the beginning. Okay. Okay. Now, the next question to this is, if you think you got to do it right from when they are very small, are we always mindful of creating growth mindset in young children? Now you can say yes or no, or sometimes, or maybe not. Are we always mindful of cultivating growth mindsets in our young children? Is my question. Yeah? Yes? Yeah? I got only few S. Not always we forget. Varsha, you're very mindful of what you're saying. Very good. We can if we try. Yeah. Now, here comes the difficulty. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we are not mindful of making our words and our body language or our interactions with children to always cultivate growth mindset. So, what is the difficulty here? Can you quote one challenge in making children cultivate growth mindset? What is the challenge? Is it you? Is it the child? Is it the circumstance? What is it? What is the challenge in cultivating growth mindset in young children? Yes, please go ahead. You're doing very good. We need to be conscious. Yeah, all that is fine. Now I'm asking, who is responsible for what is the challenge? Circumstances are the challenges. If the circumstances are okay, you will be able to cultivate growth mindset. Do you think? What is the biggest challenge? Yeah, Anna. Yeah, it is the adults who are having the difficulty. We are the difficulty. Yes. See, I was waiting for something like this. Raghavi says these days kids are so stubborn, right? Now this is your inner voice. This is what I was telling you, that we have certain notions in our minds and which become our inner voice, and then we start looking at children in that perspective. Okay. Now, when I say we need to cultivate growth mindset in young children, first of all, we have to have the growth mindset. Now, if I am not having the growth mindset, if I am having a fixed mindset, and if I believe that failure is not good in life, failure is the end of everything. And if I fail in teaching someone, or if I fail in nurturing a child, I don't need to pursue my teaching. I'm not a good teacher if I am having that kind of inner voice in myself. I will also nurture the same kind of inner voice in the children in my classroom. That is the reason, first step to become a good facilitator of growth mindset is to rectify our own mindsets. So it always has to begin with you. You have to start developing a growth mindset in yourself and resist the temptation of using the fixed mindset in your life and also passing it on to the children in your classroom. And this itself is a biggest example to showcase that growth mindset needs to be nurtured very young in age, because we are who we are at this age, and we are a product of all the experiences which we have experienced in our life till now. And those experiences have created and have cultivated a particular mindset in us. And if this is not a growth mindset, I will not be able to nurture a growth mindset in the children in my classroom. Did you get that? Yeah. So now, what I want you to do is, I want you to give me one example where you have exhibited fixed mindset. Quickly, any example you can give me where you have exhibited fixed mindset so that we understand where we stand. Yeah. Can you just quickly tell me one example where you have shown a fixed mindset in your classroom situations? Any sentence, any phrase which you have used, which indicates that you have a fixed mindset. Yeah, mindset is very important, I know, but I want you to give me one phrase or one sentence which indicates that you have a fixed mindset. You have exhibited fixed mindset at that particular point. Finding it difficult? Okay, let me ask you a different question then. Can you say one phrase which indicates that you're using growth mindset? Anything at all? Any sentence which say indicates that you are exhibiting your growth mindset when you are dealing with the children in your class? Yeah, you cannot improve your handwriting. That's a fixed mindset. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, any sentence, you know these things trouble you in future. You're bad at math. Yeah. Okay. So anything which makes what can I say? You cannot do it as usual. Yeah. Yeah. This is a very common. Thank you, Vanita, for giving me this. As usual, you're not able to do it, right? Even the parents tell this. As usual, you're always late. As usual, you came last in this exam, right? All these things are fixed mindset statements. And even if you are using mindfulness in nurturing growth mindset all the times, and you use one statement which is indicating your fixed mindset, that will spoil the work which you have done towards nurturing growth mindset in children. And that's the reason I am dwelling on it for a longer time, to indicate that you have to become completely filled with growth mindset statements and actions. If you are not filled with that, you will inadvertently give any sentence or any word or any body language or action which will make children to cultivate fixed mindset. And that is very detrimental in life because it is going to bring down their self confidence. They will not be able to build resilience and they will not persist in facing the challenges. As soon as they face any challenge, they will think that that is the end of life and they will take a detour or they will take a U turn from the challenge. And that's the reason we have to always try and provide opportunities for children to develop their resilience and to persist till they are able to solve a particular problem. Now, there is one more aspect to nurturing growth mindset in young children, and that is children are always observing parents and teachers. They don't learn from our words, but more so they will learn from our behavior. And you can take a look at this things that children absorb and imitate from parents and teachers. What do they learn? They are constantly observing you, how you are dealing with your own emotions, how you are expressing your emotions, how you are communicating with others when you are wanting to express the emotion, right? How do you interact with others? How do you greet others? What kind of relationships do you have? What kind of biases do you have? How are you stereotyping a particular child or a person? How much do you believe in certain traditions and certain practices? What is your approach when you come across a problem? How do you face challenges? Are you having a growth mindset? All these children are constantly observing. How do you resolve conflicts? Do you get into conflicts? How kind are you? How empathetic are you? How confident are you? How persistent are you? How truthful are you? All these things, they are just observing the parents and teachers and imitating them. And that's why you need to become the role model for the children in your class because it's also going to help you in becoming the role model for your own children. Is it not right? And that's why the first step to becoming a good facilitator or a parent is to have a personal development plan. You should have a personal development plan where you are changing towards nurturing your own growth mindset, nurturing your own positive inner voice, building the value system in your life, and modeling the same to the children within the family or within the classroom. That will help you in making your children become stronger, responsible, and useful citizens. So, what are the common traps which children will get into with respect to the mindsets? You have seen children building, I come back to building sand castles or building models out of bricks or Lego bricks or blocks or any other creative activity. So, when they're doing that, what happens is some children never give up and they continue and they persist till they do it and they achieve it. But what is the first thing the children will do when they're not able to do it? They'll start crying. And that is an indication that they are helpless. When they cry, that means they are helpless and they are saddened by the fact that they are unable to achieve a particular task. Or they may start saying it in so many words: I give up. I don't want to do this. It is too hard for me. I can't do this. So, what is your response when children come and tell you, I can't do this? Please put it in the chat box. Yeah. What do you say? What do you say to a child who says that I can't do this? What do you say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do it. I'm with you. Yeah, very good. Right, let's try it together. Yeah, try to do it. I'm with you. And let us try. Yes. So I had an opportunity to work with lot of different kinds of children and do it wrong, but do it yourself is a good thing, but not the right way of saying it. Everyone can do everything. Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. So you will do it one day, try hard, put more efforts. There's nothing you cannot accomplish if you put your mind to it. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, it's never too late. Try again. Together we can do it. Yes, all these are certain sentences which we can use to help them understand that you are always with them in their pursuit of achieving a particular task. Now, this is not the only thing which children need from us, not the physical support or just the emotional support, but there is something much more than that. If you take your interaction with children, day in and day out, we will be interacting at various settings and in various contexts. So let us say you are interacting with the children when they are having their snacks, and you say something which indicates or which exhibits your fixed mindset. And then you tell them, you tell the same child that you are with the child and you are going to help the child to achieve a particular task. Do you think the child will believe you? The child will not believe you because you are contradicting your own statements. In one situation, you have exhibited a fixed mindset, and in another situation, you are exhibiting growth mindset and you are encouraging the child to trust you and believe in you and in your words, which will not work. That is the reason consistency is the key. So, as teachers, we should not only have growth mindset, but we should also be consistent in our approach to deal with challenges which the children are facing. Let's say the child is not able to finish the snacks completely. The child only has half of the snacks which she or he has brought. Now, the fixed mindset will say, you will always have something left over in your snack box. This is a fixed mindset. But a growth mindset will try to captivate the mind of the child by saying that, oh, you ate one spoon more than yesterday. Great going. Keep going. And one fine day, you will be able to complete the entire snack. So when I say that, the child attempts to eat a little more every day, even though the child is unable to eat the entire snack box. The child will try and complete eating the entire portion. Now, this will add to your interaction later on in the day in another context where you are encouraging the child to believe in your words and share the responsibility of completing the task. Let's say the child is trying to jump from a height, and then you will say, trust me, you can do it. Come on, jump. If you have used a fixed mindset statement during the snack time, the child will not believe you in another context. The child will not jump because the child is unsure whether the child can trust you or not in all the contexts. This is the reason one should be very consistent in behavior as parent or as a facilitator. So, in order to establish this rapport with the children, in order to make children to believe in us, what we need to do is we need to reinforce our thoughts and concepts about each child with the children. So you can say something like, "You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. You are good as you are. You don't have to earn my love. I love you anyways," right? So these kind of sentences are going to reassure the child that your love to the child is not conditional. Irrespective of what the child is capable of doing or what the child is incapable of doing, you are going to love the child. Of course, I have used this statement from a parent's perspective as a facilitator also, because as facilitators, we are second parents to the children, especially when we talk about young children, we are second parents. And we need to embrace each child irrespective of what they are capable or not capable of doing. So, when we talk about the strategies for cultivating a growth mindset, how should we go about doing it? Now, we have come from the point where we need to self develop and we need to have a personal development plan wherein I develop a growth mindset. I have a positive inner voice. I have no bias or very little bias towards my children. From there, I am establishing a rapport with the children by modeling growth mindset in every context. I am consistent and I am using the same kind of behavior with the child every time I interact with the child. Now we go to the strategies which we can use in cultivating the growth mindset. When we want children to try again and achieve better results, what we need to do is we need to focus on the process and not on the product. So when you take children belonging to LKG or UKG, they are not going to be perfect in printing alphabets or numbers or in coloring, right? Or in creating anything for that matter. Not only in terms of writing, in anything, they are not going to be perfect. What we need to do is we need to praise the effort which goes into their learning and not the end product. Maybe some children are not able to write a beautiful Q. It's fine. But as long as they're able to identify and know the shape of that letter, know where they can use it, know the words for this letter, we have to appreciate and praise the effort and not the result. And then the second point is very, very important. All of us make mistakes, but let us normalize it. Let us also become vulnerable in front of the children. When we make mistakes, let us accept it and say, "Hey, I did something wrong here. It was not correct on my part. This was a mistake. I made a mistake." And but it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. I can correct it. And whenever children make mistakes, you can make it look very normal and make them to try again to get the correct one. And not to forget that you need to model the growth mindset all the time. Whether you are inside the classroom or outside the classroom, children are observing us. And that's the reason you have to be a role model and you have to exhibit growth mindset in every context consistently. Now, when we do this, we start using very positive language, which becomes the inner voice of the children. When it becomes the inner voice, the children start thinking that they can do it. It is like the little blue shining engine, isn't it? It says, "I think I can." And that is where we need to be responsible for making our children to understand that they think they can. First of all, they have to think that they can, and then they have to be persistent in trying again to make things work for them. And then they become persistent in facing challenges and overcoming these challenges using their creativity and achieving the success. And this entire process builds a growth mindset in young children. So when you have this entire process very systematically incorporated into your classrooms, children will start understanding the pathway for building a growth mindset in themselves. And every child in the classroom will start believing that each one of them is a growing individual and there are a lot of opportunities for them to grow. And you, as a facilitator, is going to stand by them to help them achieve success. And that's the joy and beauty of nurturing growth mindset in classrooms. A very important strategy which helps us to make children learn that they can do anything, it's only a matter of time and effort, is the power of yet. The word yet is a beautiful one, and you have to start using them in classroom situations or in the situations where you are dealing with children in your own families. I'll tell you why. Every one of us think of achieving a lot of things in life, and some of us achieve it very quickly, some of us take a long time to achieve. So it does not mean that people who take a longer time to achieve success should stop working towards it at a particular point of time. It doesn't mean that. It just means that they are not yet there. So you introduce the word yet to children and say, if they say, I can't write A, you can say, I cannot write A yet. Just addition of this word yet will make a huge difference in children's lives because they will start understanding that as of today, I'm not able to do it, but there is always a tomorrow and I can work towards it and I will be able to achieve it. And this instills persistence and determination in young children. Storytelling also can be one of the activities which you can use, like at the Little Blue Engine. There are many stories which have the conversations and the context for growth mindset. And stories are very, very impactful with young children. And you can use them for nurturing growth mindset. And you can create a challenge in the classroom and say that, okay, we are having a try again challenge. Let's say you are giving them dominoes for stacking it up. And then you say, let's say, how many of you can stack 25 dominoes, one top of the other. And children start trying, and maybe they'll go up to 10, they'll go up to 12 or 13. They may not be able to go up to 20. Now, you have to give the challenge in such a way that every child gets an opportunity to build as many times as possible till they come to 20. So this is a try again challenge. Okay. And you can also create mindset journals where you can just have a wall with mindset quotes or phrases or words with pictures, because these are very young children who will relate better when they see pictures. And you can start giving them small little phrases which are going to indicate growth mindset. This will help them to cultivate growth mindset, and you can ask them to follow a journal at home, share the strategy with the parents and make them to follow the same thing at home. Indirectly, you're also going to help the parents develop growth mindset. That is the power of a facilitator in the preschool, because you're not only targeting the children, you're also targeting the parents and the entire family. The culture in the family will automatically change, and it is beneficial for the children in the classroom, right? So, as always, I have some resources for you all to look at, because this is something which is a never ending effort towards building our own growth mindset and also nurturing growth mindset in our young ones. There are some beautiful books here, and the one very useful link which I have given here is the childhood101.com growth mindset picture books. These are having many picture books which nurture growth mindset in children, and they are very, very interesting. You may want to take a look at it. Of course, you can learn the power of yet and the psychology of success, and these are lovely books which you can use for yourself in your personal life and also in the classroom situation. And whenever you come and to a crossroad and facing a challenge with the children in your classroom or with your own children, do reach out to me on my Empower app, and you can ask me anything which is challenging in your life as a facilitator or as a parent, and I'll always be happy to help. So start your new year with inspiring growth mindsets, and I wish you all the very best to not only become a very self reliant and resilient person, but also nurture resilient children in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for your active participation. Now, if you have any query or questions, you can drop it out in chat box, then ma'am will answer it.
Thank you all. Oh my God. I don't have a PDF for this session. I just talk from my heart. So I think I will not be able to provide that. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, we are receiving a lot of positive feedback of your session, and thank you so much. We are excited. We are so good for you. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, if you have any questions which are about challenges which you face in your classrooms, you can ask me. Yeah, I think we are
As of
good to
now,
go.
ma'am, no, we
Yeah.
have no questions. So, yeah. Well, that was an insightful session. We have just explored the potential of fostering resilient thinking in learners. We are big thank you to Dr. Nagmani Krishnamurthy for breaking down complex concepts and making them accessible and engaging.
Thank
But don't go anywhere. We are just getting started. Our learning continues with the second session at sharp 4:30 p.m., where our next renowned speaker, Miss Aditya Shaganti, will guide us through beyond correct and incorrect, the transformative power of thoughtful feedback. So be sure to join us as we deep dive into practical applications. And dear participants, all the certificates regarding the last sessions and today's sessions are shared with you on your registered mail ID. And a quick reminder, a quiz will be scheduled for the December 21st, giving you a chance to win Amazon voucher worth up to 25,000. So take a quick break and we will see you back here at sharp 4:30 p.m. Thank you, ma'am.